Hello everyone, here's to talk to you guys about the 4Runners maintenance and the buying tips. And oh yeah, before that, the last 4Runner video I make, a lot of people talk about the cars I have in the garage. Let me show you guys. Particularly these three cars, the LP560-2, the SLS, and the CGT. And these three cars, is like a mysteries. Mysteries. They are high maintenance and fun to drive. It's like your mistress. They are not gonna do they're not gonna wash your clothes. They're gonna do your laundry. They're gonna clean your house. They're gonna take care of dogs. It's like these three. Like you cannot carry stuff with it. The trunk is very small, not good on gas, not good on anything. And but they are fun to drive because you don't drive them every day. It's like more like a mystery, like high maintenance, and but they are fun. And those 4Runners are like housewives, like they are reliable. You can throw dogs or stuff on it. They can carry stuff, and they're useful. And well, though, I mean, I love them both, but this 4Runner is more like a housewives to me, and those sports cars, exotics, it's really more like a mistress. And okay, let's get back to the video for how to buy one. Okay, the 4Runner is a Toyota car, so first of all, obviously outside, and that one, that one is a 2000 Sport, so it's got the hood scoop, got different stuff. This is a 96, or Y1 is a 96, and the headlights are a little different, the bumpers are a little different. There's a small stuff different, but they are all interchangeable, so it really depends whatever you prefer. And because it's a Toyota, so you can see all the body panels have those VIN numbers on it. It's got VIN numbers everywhere. So first thing you probably want to check is if are those VIN numbers all there. You know, if the VIN numbers all there, that's good because they never replaced. And if it's repainted, I wouldn't worry that much because it's an old car. If it's repainted, it's kind of okay as long as the panel hasn't been changed. And that's outside. Yeah, that Sport is got a fake hood scoop on it. It's a fake one, and it's got those fender flares. I think they look good. And this one is a different one. The limited ones, I think the flare goes all the way down to this side step, and I like this one better. If you take out this side step, the flare still look good on it. Not like limited ones. They have a cutoff right here. It looks kind of weird. And this 96, I took out the side step thingy. It's just give you a little clearance, when you drive over rocks. It, this one I hit a couple times. I thought I could clear it, but right under the tire, when you place your tires on some rocks, you will hit this one. It's kind of low, so I took out the 96 one. It gives you a lot of clean look. You probably want to add some rock rails if you're going somewhere crazy for off-roading, And I don't have the fender flares on this guy. It used to have one, the black ones, and I just figured whatever. I do off-road with this car, I don't really care about the scratches, and but it looked better. I know everybody probably will agree with me. This one does look better, but I just don't want to have to, worry about picking up parts, pieces when I'm off-roading, or I hit something. And okay, let's start from engine. I've owned this. Oh, by the way, this 96 has like 280,000 miles right now, and that 2000 has 240,000 miles around. And on the engine, this one has a TRD supercharger. Oh, yeah, on the TRD supercharger, this is where you add the supercharger fluid from this hole. It's probably hard to see, but you gotta feel the supercharger oil through here. And this is a canister. I had to replace one on the 2001. This was around $100. The canister, you'll make some funky noise, and it will throw check engine lights if something wrong with it. It's around like $100, not too bad. And on the engine, this is both of them 5-speed stick shift manual box gearbox. So I think you don't have to worry about on the automatic one they have the oil cooler run through the bottom of the radiator. If they get messed up and it's bad. And they both stick shift though. I don't have that problems. And on this engine, you see the stickers right here. This for the factory timing belt, and I prefer using Toyota OEM parts on these cars because, you know, that they make good parts. That's why this truck was so reliable. So like this one, I have the factory OEM timing belt, and you need to do a timing belt, water pump, the whole 9 yards for maintenance, the belts thingy, and spark plug wires. Those are things I replaced. When you buy a used one, you not probably, I think that's the money you need to put in consideration, unless the previous owner can show you the receipt, how they done with it, what they changed. If they don't have receipt to show it, just you probably better off changing them all anyway. Especially I think the timing belt, water pump is quite important for it, and spark plug wires, that would depend, but it's always a good idea. When you're buying a used car, just change it. And the air filter, obviously, just basic stuff. And I live in California, so the rust is never a problem for me. But if you live in other states, probably you want to look for the rust, because these older trucks are not that great on that part. And also the tire, brakes, the basic stuff, air conditions, that I don't think I need to tell you guys how to check those. But one of the things is, okay, if you see under here, okay, that's the transfer case, and around there the axles, they're actually on the transfer case. If I don't drive the car, if I don't drive it, I think about a month, like this one, I left for a month, I didn't move it, it will start to have some leak. But if you drive it, they actually don't leak oil whatsoever, so it's weird. You just have to keep driving it. If you drive it, the transfer case is not gonna leak. It will sip out a little bit, like 1 drip or 2 drips. But I don't know, I drive it and it doesn't leak anymore, so I guess you just have to drive it. And around the transfer case, the bottom one, those the how to say it, the drive shaft, the half shaft, those things, they have those grease point for the U joints, so you might want to look into that. They have many places. I think you can find the information online, but basically it's around. Okay, barely can see it, but around those U joints, you need to put the grease in, and it makes some difference. Sometimes if you feel that it's noisy or something, probably chances are nobody use it. They use the same thing even on the 2014, my FJ Cruiser is using the same thing. The drive shaft has those place you need to put the grease in, lubricate point on the U joints. Even the 14 FJ has it, so you might want to check it. If it's dry, you might want to check it. And also another one, most of the parts on this 4Runner, they're cheap, but one of them is the rack and pinion. You might want to look into the rack and pinion, make sure it wasn't leaking oil, the rack and pinion, because the Toyota parts list on it was like $700-800 for the rack and pinion. I changed one for this 96 4Runner, and it was kind of leaking. The power steering fluid was leaking, and it was $700 for the parts. And another one you have to be careful, not really, but it's old car, the axle seal. Both this truck, the 96 and 2000, the real axle seal failed around 230,000 miles. So that the first sign is if you check inside the wheel, it's gonna be wet. It was the oil inside, it's through oil inside, and that's a sign that axle seal is properly leaking. And I have both of them failed around 230,000 miles, around there. They both fail on the passenger side, so it's pretty cheap fix. I think the axle seal is only like $40 or something, so you might as well change it. That's something you probably want to be careful, because if it's leaking and you won't see it, it will not leak outside. It kind of stay inside the rims, and most of them will actually go inside the drop inside, so you won't see it, you know, unless you really really pay attention. Otherwise, the the rear axle probably gonna run dry, and that's one thing. Both of them I had to replace the exhaust seal, but you know, for 230,000 miles, and I'm kind of okay with that. And the tail light is a little different, you know, the 2096, not much different. In the interior, the air condition on the 96 is using the old school, you know, it's pushing it, it's wired. It, the there's a cable, and the newer one is a knob, it's a wire, you know. The cup holder place is different, not much difference, but pretty much you need to look for the rust. And the regular things is just maintenance stuff, you know. I didn't have to change a lot of stuff. Most of them are easy ones, I mean cheap ones. So let me see, let me think about whatever I changed. No, I didn't really do anything. Pretty much just the timing belt, water pump, and the belts, and spark plugs I changed once only, and the spark plug wires I did change it. And yeah, actually there's not much stuff about this guy. Yeah, it's just make sure, you know, the OV numbers there, the rust is good, it's not rusted, and the engine, the timing belt, it was changing on time. You know, I have those stickers I like to see with factory parts on them, and basically brake stuff to it. And to fix it is easy, nothing like common problems. I don't really see any common problems with this guy. The automatic ones were different though. Automatic one, like I say, the radiator, I think you need to be careful with that part. Just check out the fluid, see if they're milky, or you know, that's probably a sign. The oil and the mix with the coolant. And other than that, I've owned them for a long time. You know, it's pretty much a basic maintenance stuff, and wasn't that expensive. The most expensive I have ever changed was the rack and pinion. That was like $700 for the parts alone. I know you can go the rebuild one, probably $200 something. I want a factory ones, you know, just for the ease of mind. And I know the factory ones will hold. And that's about it. If you guys have any questions, give me a comment and I'll try to answer it. Thanks.